Hello and welcome. In today's video, I will discuss about the fundamental concept of arrays. So we are starting with the arrays. This is a new topic. So first of all, before thinking what is an array, we have to think why we need array and what is the situation arises when we think of arrays. For example, if we take a number, we have to store a number into memory. We take integer variable. Alright, but when we have to take 100 numbers in to store in memory, we cannot afford to have 100 integers. Or if we have to store 10 names, 20 names, we cannot afford to take 10 or 20 string variables, because we won't be able to deal with them. It will be difficult for us to remember 100 or 20 names. So to this situation, when we have to store similar type of data, a large amount of data into memory, we use arrays. So that is very easy to use. But before, what is the array? So array is a collection of similar types of data. It is a container that holds data of a single type. So in an array, in one array we can have one type of data item. It is not possible that we store different type of data in a single array. So there are few highlighted points there. Many data items under a single name. For example, we have to store 100 integer. Now we don't need to take 100 integer variables. We can do this storing thing under a single name. We can use one variable which will be able to use 100 integers. We can take a one variable which will be able to store 100 string, 10 string, 20 strings. So when these data items are stored under a single name, access of data will become fast. How it will become fast? Because the memory is allocated in the linear or sequential manner. For each element of the array, the memory is stored in a linear or sequential manner. For example, if it is an array, an address of this is 100, first element, so address of second element will be 104, third element will be 108, 112, 116, and so on in case of integer. Alright, it depends, this will be depending upon the data type also. The next thing is, the size of the array should be predetermined. What this means, before starting the program or within the program, first of all, before declaring the array, we must know how many data items we want to store, 10, 20 or 50. But once we have declared the array, the important point, the size cannot be changed. In Java, it is not possible to define an array of 50 and later on if you realize I need 55 elements in the execution of the program, during the course of the program, we cannot change this. These are the few important points of array, what array is. Now how to declare array and how to deal with array, we will discuss. Now we will see how we will declare an array. To declare an array, there is syntax, data type, then variable name, square bracket equal to new data type and square bracket size. This is the syntax using which we can declare an array. So here new operator is required because array is derived data type. It is composed of many primitive or derived data types. So new operator is required to allocate memory for the array. There are three examples I will show you. The first way is, suppose we want to declare an integer array. I have taken int arr semicolon and arr equal to new int 10. This way it will define an array of size 10. There are two statements. This first statement will define the array. It will tell the compiler that arr is not an integer variable, it is an integer array. Then the second statement will allocate memory for 10 elements. Now, in the second way, we can combine both statements into one and we can write int arr equal to new int 10. And in the third way, we can write int square bracket arr equal to new int 10. So there is example of declaring an array with help of with the data type as integer. We can have any data type. This will define an array of size 10, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of size 10 named as ARR, and all elements have got its initial value. This numbers is very important, what I have written the numbers. So there are 10 elements and all elements having the same name. So how we can access particular element of the array? So this first element is defined as 0, second as 1, third as 2. This number is known as index number, right? This is index number. Index number varies from 0 to size minus 1. 0 to size minus 1 is the index number. So if you want to access the element at 0, we can write ARR 0. This is ARR 1. And so on. This, if you want to access this one, we will write ARR 5. So index number are very important here to access any element of the array. And in case we try to access any element which is beyond this index number. Beyond this index number means if it is less than 0 and more than size minus 1, then we get an error message at the time of execution, that is runtime error. The error is array index out of bound exception. Array index out of bound exception is a runtime error which comes at the time of execution when in a programmer tries to access any element which is beyond 0 to size minus 1. So here is the method by which you can see how we can initialize an array. So to initialize an array, this is the one way we can initialize. Here an array is been defined of size 5. Then we are saying A0 equal to 5, A1 equal to 7, A2 equal to 9, A3 equal to 4 and A4 equal to 12. So using this statement, array is been declared of size 5. Then we have to initialize each and every element of the array separately. So by doing this, in the memory, a block of 5 elements is reserved. The first element 0, second 1 and so on up to 4, and the values are initialized. So this is known as A0, A1, A2, A3 and A4. So using this index number we can access this array. So here I have shown a loop. This loop is of index number. Index number are 0 to 4. So here the value of I is 0 to 4. So when the value of I will be 0, it is SOP-LM A0 which will display 5. When the I will be 1, A1 it will display 7. When the I will be 2, A2 it will display 9. When the I will be 3, this A3 which will display 4, and when the I is 4, it is displaying 12. So this way an array is declared and the values are initialized. But the better way is this: if you know we have to initialize the value, we can initialize the array at the time of declaration also. Here array has been defined at the time of definition only. We have initialized the array with some elements. If we will be doing this way, we don't have to define the size of it because when we are initializing the data item, it will allocate the memory according to the number of data items automatically. So by doing this, it is performing the same thing as we did here. Same way the values are initialized. In the same way, we can access the element. I have shown you one more example where a character array is initialized with 5 vowels. So at index number 0, we have got A, index number 1, we have got E, index number 2 I, index number 3 O, and index number 4 U. By this, we have got all the vowels stored in an array, and we can use it for the another process. Now one more important thing about the array is the size. If we don't know the size of how many elements are present in the array, then we can get the size of the array by using array name dot length keyword. Array name dot length. For example, here I have taken an array with the element. So let me see how many elements are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this array contains 8 elements, and after this statement, if we determine the value of L is 8. So any point of time, whenever we need the size of the array, we can use a dot length. That is very important. And here I can give some statements. System dot out dot print. So if we have to find the sum of first and last element of the array, to get the sum of first and last element, the first element is A0, last element is A dot length minus 1 or L minus 1. So here it will determine last element, the size, minus 1 is the last element plus first element. So here if you see, if you get the answer as 23, sum of A0 is 2 and last one is 21. So this way we can make use of the length. And one more example we can see, system.out.println a dot length minus 2. What it will show? It will show you 20, second last. Element of the array. Alright, this way the size can be used for various processes. You can make a note of this. Hello, now we can see some more examples. And here, in this example, to understand the array more clearly, there are a few questions. The first question is saying, write a statement to find sum of first and last element of the array. So we can write the first element of the array is 0. So we can write the statement ARR 0. ARR 0 is the first element. Now how we can find the last element? The last element can be determined by finding the size of the array, and to find the size of there is a length keyword. We write ARR.length. ARR, in the index number write ARR.length minus 1. Last element is on the size minus 1, so ARR.length minus 1. In the second question, there is a display the square of the second last element of the array ARR. If ARR.length minus 1 is the last element, then the second last element is ARR.length minus 2. So write system.out.println ARR.length we have to find a square. So write math.pow ARR for the index number ARR.length minus 2 comma 2. So in the index number write ARR.length minus 2. That will give you the second last element and to the power 2. and the bracket, ending curly bracket, SOP. Now the next question, there is a string array defined with 3 strings. So the first question from it is range of indices. So it is 0, 1, 2. So answer will be 0 to 2. And the next question is, what is the size of the array? The size of the array is 3. Total 3 elements are there. The size of the array is 3. Result of A2 dot length function. Here when we determine the size of the array, we write length. But A2 is a string. A2 is a string. London is written. So then for the string there is a length function. So A2 is this, and the length of this A2 is 6. It's string length. Then the question 4 is determine the total size in bytes of the array. So this is the array of character. It is having 4 elements. So we know that each character occupies 2 bytes. So the total bytes will be 2 into size is 4, 8 bytes. The next question, P5 of float type. Float occupies 4 bytes and there are 5 elements. So total it will occupy 20 bytes. The next question is saying N10 of long size. Long, each element occupies 8 bytes and there are 10 elements, which will occupy total 80 bytes. And the next question 5 is saying find the error in this given code. So if you see this line where the array is in a slice, there should be curly braces. Instead of this, it should be curly braces. Data item should be like curly, in the curly braces this should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And here this loop, if you check, how many elements are there? 5 elements. So the index number should be 0 to 4. So the loop should be, the condition should be I is less than 5 instead of I is less than equal to 5. So the index number will be between 0 to 4. Then the question 6 is saying which element is num9 of array num. So num9 is, num0 is first element, num1 is second element, num2 is third element. So the num9 will be 10th element. Alright, this way. These are the few questions. We'll do more questions. You can take a snapshot of this. Now there are more questions. So there is an array given which is storing 6 characters. So in the second statement we have said int arr b equal to arr. This statement will copy array arr into arr b. The first statement is saying system.out.println math.pow arr.length comma 3. So what will the value of arr length? Arr length will be 6. So it will find the 6 to the power 3, that is 216. So answer will be, the output will be 216.0 as the pow function returns double type of value. Second statement is comparing the element at 0 with the element at 3. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3. So small a is compared with the capital A, and as the case are different, the output will be false. And in the next statement, ARRB is compared with ARR, and we have seen the ARRB is the copy of ARR, so both are going to be identical. So this answer will be true. In question number 8, an array is given and a loop is given and it is saying display. So what is displaying? With the value of I is 0. So it is saying ARR 0 plus ARR 4 minus 0. 4 minus 0 is 4 only. So 4 minus I is 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 and 10 is added, then the output will get 12. Then when the value of I is 1, this 4 minus 1 is 3. So 1 is 4 and 3 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. When the I is 2, here are 2 and 4 minus 2 is also 2. So it is added twice, 6 is added twice. The output will be 12. Now here is a program given which is showing some error. We are supposed to correct the error. So here this statement is declaration, here this statement is initialization. And we all know the initialization must be done at the time of declaration only. So the correction is, we need to write this statement as int a equal to 12, 61, 95, 10, 45. This initialization should be done at the time of declaration. And here we have 5 elements, and in this loop first error is I is not defined and I must go up to 4 only. So the equal to sign should not be there, and in this display statement there is no error. So in this video I have discussed basic concept and some few questions based on this. So in the next video we'll discuss some fundamental and easy program. Initially what type of programs we are doing. So those programs I will come up with in the next video. So you can wait for that. It will come very soon. So all of you, if you like this video, please share and subscribe. Thank you very much.